Hi, good day. I just want today to encourage everybody a little bit. Sometimes as believers, especially those of us also that are in ministry, can go through also tough times. We always think that when we believe and follow Christ that we should always be 100% up there. But that is not always the reality. Yes, of course, we know that Jesus is the author of our salvation. We know that we are reconciled back to God. And we know that God is always having the best for us in mind. But it does not mean that when we go through tough times, or that we will never ever go through some tough times. You know, it reminds me that James writes here in James 1, says, "My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God who gives to all, liberally, without reproach, and will be given to you. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave that is of the sea driven and tossed by the wind." So you see, even James addresses this issue of our faith being tested. But when we have this, we know it produces patience. And with patience, we can go so much further. And sometimes it's not easy because we have to endure maybe for a day, for a week, for a month, some people even longer. And we have to, I say, keep on praying, speaking to God, no matter how you feel, no matter the situation you are in. There are those days for me personally where I just don't feel like praying some days. And then I think to myself, no, but I have to pray. I have to speak to God, you know. And even if I just take 10 minutes out, 5 minutes that day, and I say, okay, today I will pray regardless of how I feel. If I'm down, if I'm thinking that my circumstances are too much. But it's important for us to just take that moment and pray and you know, for myself it keeps me, my thoughts, my head together. It keeps me at least if I slip during the day or whatever, or I feel overwhelmed by my circumstances, just that little bit of prayer that I can, it helps me to stay on track. It helps me to focus on God instead, knowing that God has a solution and a plan for us to get out from whatever and wherever things we are in. And I can say from my own life, being through ups, being through downs, God will never forsake you. He will never leave you. Yes, it might not be easy at that time, but He's always there to carry us through. You know, Psalm 23 says it, even in the valley of death, He will set up a table for you with the food to eat from. We always have to look for the positive, to find the best, and say to God and pray to God. It's like Jesus taught the disciples to pray, and that was, let your kingdom come, let your will be done. And then He says, and ask for the provision also, and also that we have to forgive people that do things to us, which is so important. We don't always feel like doing that. We think, oh God, I need your justice. But we have to remember that God is the one that will give justice. God is the one that is the judge. Our job in this is to forgive people, even if it is very hard. We have to forgive people and say, God, I don't understand it, but I will forgive and I will move on from this. So I just want to encourage you all, let us just get out there today with a new attitude in us, refreshed, knowing that God will work out all the situations that we have. Have a blessed day today.